My name's Sandy Millin and I'm the Director of Studies at International IH Bydgoszcz, which is in north central Poland. And most of the teachers who work at our school are within their first or second year of teaching after they've done the Salta or the Trinity Cert TESOL. So I find myself quite often working with new teachers both through that and through the fact that I'm a Salta trainer. So I'm here to give you some different tips that might be useful for you if you're starting out on your teaching career or if you're working with new teachers. So one of my first tips is that it's always good to think about when you're sitting down and standing up in the classroom. If you're working in international house schools, a lot of the classrooms are quite small, or the groups are quite small, and if you're looming over the students, it can make them feel quite nervous. It also makes a big difference to yourself whether you've got a chair underneath you. A chair can be quite a good kind of grounding for you, can help you feel less nervous. It helps you to feel centred and it helps the students to know when they should be paying attention to you. But don't sit down all the time. So I would recommend that it's good to sit down when you're giving instructions and perhaps when you're giving feedback or rounding up a stage, but make sure that you do cross the invisible line between you and the students and that you actually go and see what they're doing, see what work they're doing, listen to their conversations, give them a little bit of space, but be close enough so that you can actually hear them. So that would be my first tip. Think about when you're sitting and when you're standing. Another thing that it's really useful for you to do is think about your class from the perspective of a student. So imagine that you were a student in your class and think about your lessons or reflect back on your lesson as if you were a student. Were there any parts that were particularly long where you weren't really doing anything? Was the board quite confusing? Were there any activities which were particularly fun that you would love to do again? If you can step into the shoes of your students, then it helps you to understand what's going on in your classroom, because especially as new teachers, we can be very centred on what we're doing and we forget what the experience is like for our students. And following on from that, don't forget that especially at the beginning of the year or the course, the students are just as nervous as you, and in fact they're sometimes more nervous than you because you have a plan, you know what's going to happen in the lesson or what you would like to happen. The students have no idea, they don't know who this person is who's standing in front of them, they don't know what's going to unfold in the lesson, they're speaking in a foreign language which automatically makes you feel a little bit more scared. And so putting the students at their ease and helping them to see that it's okay to be nervous in the classroom, but not to let the nerves impair their communication or stop them from trying to participate. That can help you manage your own nerves as well. It can help you build your confidence. As a new teacher, I would like you to wish you luck with your career, and I hope that you end up enjoying it as much as I always have.